Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. A bit of a change of affairs today, because I honestly thought this game was kicking off at 8 p.m. So the whole plan that I had coming into this today was that I was going to give you a Reddit video and then the watch along and then the review, and I'm only able to give you the watch along and the review today, hence the review now, because I actually thought it was kicking off at 8 p.m. Reddit video coming tomorrow as we look into Malmo versus Chelsea. It's finished 1-0. Also, before we dive into the nitty gritty of today's Champions League game, I come bearing a little gift. If you were on the watch along, you would have heard this, and I've told everyone that was watching live, but now you can go into the description right now, and you guys can see on my socials, I've got a TikTok. And I've posted something in commemoration for the fact that Antonio Conte has become the new Tottenham manager, and it relates to us, and it puts us in a good light, and it puts Spurs in the mud. So you're going to get little bits of banter on that page. Do follow the TikTok, link in the description. It's just going to be a case where wherever I feel I want to say something very short and brief, I'll probably do it on there. So make sure you follow me on TikTok, link in the description, much appreciated, as well as all my other socials, and my Reddit page as well, Reddit video coming tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled. Now, Malmo versus Chelsea has finished 1-0. Very underwhelming in terms of the scoreline. In terms of the scoreline, we all thought 3-4-5, right? I predicted 3. We didn't even come close to 3. We did in terms of chances created, in terms of shots on target. We had over 10 shots on target. We put 1 in the net. So it goes to show you in terms of actually being clinical, actually putting things to bed like we should. We didn't really do that today, but we managed to get one good opportunity and put it in the net. Thankfully, Malmo, who stepped up to the plate today, fair play to Malmo, thankfully they didn't have the minerals to really get a job done, because with the couple of occasions that they managed to get in terms of having the ball in the box and working Edouard Mendy and actually having a clear-cut chance, if that was a better team with better forwards, they would have scored. As far as I see it, they probably would have scored. So fair play to Malmo with what they have. They gave us a good game. Their crowd are unbelievable, by the way. The noise up until 1-0 was deafening. Absolutely deafening. But what I do want to say is shout out and fair play to all the Chelsea guys and gals that went over to Malmo on an away day, that got a ticket and went to support the Chelsea over there, because you guys were heard replying back. You guys were loud too. So well done to every fan that went out. You've done us proud. After we went 1-0 up as well, Malmo went a little bit silent. All I could hear was Chelsea. So, you know, it's how it's meant to be done. Anyway, this game, in terms of the starting lineup, we made a couple of changes, a couple of bits of rotation that we saw. We started with Edouard Mendy in goal, the back three, Christensen, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. Alonso coming in. Christensen, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. Azpilicueta right wing back. I was about to say, hang on, Aspi was playing, but yes, he was. He was playing at right wing back. Alonso at left wing back. Those were the two that come in terms of rotation. We had the midfield of Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek. Kante didn't travel, as I didn't clarify my preview yesterday. I did put it in the comments after I'd found out. I didn't know. Kante didn't travel. He's working on recovery here in London. He's not injured. He's just working on his recovery. So hence why it was best for him to stay back, as we got Burnley on the weekend. We started with Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho. The front three, as predicted, was something that we just couldn't change. Ziyech, Hudson-Odoi and Kai Havertz. And that first half with those front three compared to the second half with those front three, two different halves. And that's good in terms of them stepping up, because that's what we wanted. But in that first half, Kai Havertz was underwhelming. Ziyech was underwhelming. Hudson-Odoi done all right. Fair play, Hudson-Odoi. I mean, he didn't really give the ball away. He got himself into good positions. He was linking up very well. He didn't really have too many shots on goal, which is something I would have liked to see him do in that first half. But he was having a good game. It was Kai Havertz that was missing chances, losing the ball. Ziyech, missing chances, losing the ball. Same sort of thing going on with those two in the first half. I want to stress that. As we managed to approach the end of the first half, though, it began to look like, you know what, we were looking a little, I don't want to say lethargic, but we were just looking like we were taking it a little bit too slow. We were looking like we weren't really testing their goalkeeper. We weren't getting the ball forward as much as I think we would have liked to. Second half, Thomas Tuchel made one tactical switch, And it paid off for the players and for the team. He's shifted Hudson-Odoi from the left-hand side to the right-hand side and shifted Ziyech from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. And that little switch got everything clicking. Thomas Tuchel's a genius. Honestly, he is. Because all of us in that moment, we'd be looking at substitutions. At half-time during the watch-along, I was talking about subs possibly being made at minute 60. Talking about Pulisic coming on, or a Barkley, or a Saul, or someone. Thomas Tuchel's like, nah. One switch. Done. And it paid off. Because later in the second half, we managed to get the game going again. We started to look like we were properly on the upper hand. Started to really contain the game, contain the ball, really start moving it about nicely. Start getting it into very good forward positions. And start linking up in between Hudson-Odoi, Havertz and Ziyech. We saw Ziyech today, I think, when you look at Ziyech and Havertz, Ziyech had more, I'd say, intensity, more about him, more oomph to his game, more intention on the ball. Whereas Havertz just looked like he was just losing everything. Yes, Ziyech at times lost the ball, but he was looking a lot more active than a Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz was just like, all right, I'll take the ball, I'm in on a run, and I'll just flop it. And it paid off later on, even though all three were involved in the goal. Kai Havertz managing to link up very well, sending Hudson-Odoi on a fantastic run. Hudson-Odoi making a good run on that right-hand side. Manages to pick out a great ball across the pitch. Fantastic assist. And it lands to Ziyech, who made a very good run into the box. Managed to read the situation, stay away from the defender, create loads of space for himself. Ball comes across, taps it in, and it's 1-0 Chelsea. And I said it at that point. During the watch-along, I said, before that goal, Ziyech needs to score. He needs to score. Because if he doesn't score, this is going to go down as a bad performance for him, and the same for Havertz. They need to get on the score sheet today. Because right now they are not doing it. They are just not performing up to par. They are not playing at a level that they are required to play at. Ziyech, to salvage something today, needs to score. And he did. So fair play. Fair play, Hakim Ziyech, because overall, when you take the context of everything in the game, he had bad moments, but he had good moments. And he got the winning goal. So you got to give credit there. You got to give credit there. Kai Havertz, on the other hand, though, he missed 2 sitters. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put Timo Werner under the bus here, but, I mean, you know, you pick up the same sort of thing from Timo. You got a Werner curse going on. And I don't mean that bad for Werner, because I understand the good that Werner brings, and we all know and we appreciate him, and he's a fantastic lad, and he's a good player. He just needs to score more, for sure. But he's a good player, and I think right now, in terms of how we're playing in that front line, you bring Werner and Lukaku back in, chances are we're going to be clicking some more. Also, Pulisic is back. Pulisic is back. And I have to say, for the cameo that he had the last 20 minutes or so, he looked good. He looked good. He looked fast. He looked quick on his feet. He was moving about very nicely. His positioning was great. He was getting into good forward areas. He was managing to win the ball in the area, testing their defence and being able to create chances there. Just the last minute of the game, yes, he missed an absolute sitter. However, he was offside, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt there, because he's just come back from a long injury, so fair play. But he managed to get that one-on-one, he went around the keeper, and then he hit it, and he mishit it, and it went out, and it was pretty much, well, the end of the game. Could have been a goal kick, but it was the end of the game. Chances are, though, looking at Pulisic, I think that he's going to start getting himself back into the team. This is why I said Ziyech needed to score today, because if he didn't, I think in Thomas Tuchel's head, he'd be looking at Pulisic and going, okay, I need to give you the opportunities now. And I look at Kai Havertz, I'm starting to think the same, in terms of, mate, now you need to score. Now you need to do something, because if you don't, Werner and Lukaku are coming back just after the international break. And the international break isn't long. It's not far away. We're in November. That takes place in November. By the time we come back from international break, which is in just about 2.5 weeks' time, 3 weeks, international break's about to begin after this weekend. So after that, we come back, Lukaku and Werner will be fit. They'll be there. And Havertz will find it harder to get himself into the team. This is his opportunity. He needs to take it. Now, Ziyech has made a little bit of a statement for himself, and fair play to him today. Now I turn to Kai Havertz. You've got to make a statement now. Simple. Against Burnley, you will be playing. You got to score. You got to score. That's it. Score. Overall, though, I know some people are going to be looking at this game, especially in the last 20-25 minutes, and go, wow, that was slow, that was rubbish, wasn't it? That was poor, what were we doing? I do want to put a bit of context to it. You have to understand, as fans, it's very easy for us, and it's even me, I look at myself, it's very easy for me to go, oh, come on, let's go, attack, let's go and get the second goal, let's go all guns blazing, come on, let's do it. Without thinking about the schedule, without thinking about travel, without thinking about the fixtures, without thinking about international break and what we've got coming afterwards. You have to manage the players. It was the wise thing to do in those last 10-15 minutes for Thomas Tuchel to tell the Chelsea players, just keep the ball. Keep the ball. If you keep the ball, Malmo won't score. And if you keep the ball, you manage the game at your own pace. You don't need to keep running about everywhere. You keep the ball. Save the energy. Because we've got Burnley on the weekend. Then all these players got to go to international break. And then they come back and we've got to play some big games. Juventus, we've got Man City, Man United at that point. We've got Tottenham in January. That's where December, January is going to be key. If we want to win the Premier League title, December, January is key. We have to manage our players. We need to make sure that the energy levels are there, that injury risks are very low, and we need to make sure we're putting the whole squad through their paces at a very reasonable speed. Because if we don't, we get injuries, we're screwed. Simple. Or if you get fatigue, you get tired players, they play, they make mistakes, they let in easy passes, easy goals, we lose games, we drop points, and that's not what we want. So I can understand from Thomas Tuchel's perspective of managing the players correctly. And I think even though the scoreline was just 1-0, the way we managed it in those last 20 minutes was exactly what I would have done in Thomas Tuchel's position. So fair play to Audi TT, fair play to Mr. TT, our manager, the best manager in the world. Yeah, you heard that, Spurs, best manager in the world. Because Antonio Conte is a Tottenham manager today, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens over there. But we've managed to get 3 points. That's the most important thing. Let's look forward now to the Zenit Juve game that takes place later tonight. And then we'll see what happens when Juventus hit up the bridge. And we play Juventus in the Champions League match day 5. And hopefully we win and we go top of the table. So fingers crossed. But let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about today's game. Individual performances. If there's some that I want to pick out, I think it's right to say Hudson-Odoi had a very good game. Loftus-Cheek had a very good game. The defence, as usual. Edouard Mendy didn't have to do too much, but fair play. Apart from that, there wasn't really anyone that had a bad game, really, really bad. You know, it wasn't a hard game. It was really well managed, very manageable game today. So, yeah, in terms of individual performances, I think the key players that I have to highlight are probably Hudson-Odoi and Loftus-Cheek. They played really, really well tonight. So fair play to them. And I hope it continues. Thank you all so much. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Thank you to getting this number up for where it is now. We are approaching 94k. As I've already said, make sure you check out my TikTok, link in the description, as well as all my socials. You will find all of them there. Thank you all so much. And I will see you tomorrow for a Reddit video. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Thank you so much. I'll see all of you then. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.